Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you some of the cut content from Gotham Knights. Now, we don't know everything that was cut from the game, but right now this is everything we know. There's a whole bunch of stuff in this video that has recently come out, so that is why we are going to be talking about it. Real quick before we start, hit that like and subscribe button and comment below which of these should have been in the game more, in your opinion. Also, just because it's not in the game now doesn't mean we couldn't see it in a DLC or a sequel, though I doubt we will get either. Some of this stuff was in the files, but a majority of it is from the concept art you can find. Almost all of this art on ArtStation, if you are interested in seeing anyone's work. Now, first off, we have Two-Face. Now, I'm sure a lot of you probably already know this, but Two-Face was meant to be in this game and even has an image in the files, which is on screen now. We don't know what all he would have been for, whether it be a cameo, a case file, or other. Hopefully we find out what it was meant to be, but we don't know for now. There was also meant to be more STARRO stuff in the game. STARRO would have had an actual fight in the game, which is pretty disappointing to hear. Essentially all we got was a escort mission, which is on screen now, and it's just okay. A full day city is in the game files as well as an afternoon version. It's possible we would have been able to free roam during these, or that we could have had cutscenes take place during these times. The rest of this video is now going to be concept art. First off, we have Damian Wayne. Through this concept art, which is on the screen, now we've discovered that Damian was planned to be Robin in this game, which makes a lot of sense for the suits we got for Tim, as they could have been planned for Damian instead. Now, we don't know why we have Tim instead, or if they plan to have Damian and Tim and chose to only do one. I wonder if maybe the reason they didn't choose to do Damian is they didn't want any one character to feel like the main character. And him being in the game kind of would have made that harder because of certain things that I'm not going to spoil. There also are a lot of costumes that we know about. Now, the first ones are what I assume to be the original default suits for each heroes. Tim's is very similar, at least the one on the left is. Nightwing's is just normal. Essentially, Red Hood is the really interesting one, though, as he has a crowbar in the image. Now, if you don't know, a while ago in the comics, Jason started using 2 crowbars to fight, which you may think is an odd choice considering that's the thing that killed him, but that's why he picked it. So, it seems that at some point they were considering giving him that in this game, and it probably would have made his fighting a lot less basic if he had used this, so who knows why they decided not to do that. This next one seems to also be an idea of default skins, and once again has Red Hood with a crowbar. The suits in this image are also a lot closer to the comics. Tim's, for example, is not the odd hoodie thing that he has. Next, we have this, which I don't recognize from the game, but looks similar to some different suits that they have. We also have separate images for each of these heroes, with Batgirls, Red Hood, Nightwing, and Robin, with what I assume to be each's customization options. There's also this black version of all 4 characters. Something interesting about this is the use of this teal color instead of green for Robin. I'm not sure why that choice is there. But next is some really interesting ones, and one of the reasons I'm making this video is these sets of suits. Now we're going to start with Batgirl. The first 2 look original to me, though the first one is very familiar. Let me know if you recognize these. The third one is the Cassandra Cain Batgirl suit, and the right one is based off of her White Knight suit. Next is Red Hood. The first one is from a Batman and Robin comic back when Nightwing was Batman for a while. The second one looks similar to a few different comic suits, but I don't know anything specific. The third one is his outlaw suit, but changed to have white on a lot of it. And the final one is from the New 52, which is why it has the weird mouth thing. There's also these 3 other Red Hood suits, which I don't recognize any of them. I think they're all original. Here is Nightwing's suits. The first one is similar to his New 52 look with the added red on the legs. The second is from White Knight. The third, I'm not sure about. The fourth one, I think, is inspired by his time as a spy in the Grayson comics, but with an added mask and logo, especially with the way that the gloves and sleeves leave that gap of skin exposed. And finally, we have Robin's. The left one, the R is backwards for some reason. I don't know why, but it looks similar to his Infinite Frontier design, though it's got some weird color changes and added yellow bands on the stomach area. The second one is his Drake suit from the comics. The third one I'm not sure about. I don't recognize it. The fourth one is actually a Nightwing suit. It's a concept art of Nightwing by Alex Ross that was unused for the comics. So I guess they thought it fit for Tim, though it could have technically been given to Nightwing as well. Who knows? Or instead, not also. And the final suit is his Red Robin suit, which we already have a version of in the game. Now, all of these look great. I'm not sure why they were scrapped, but maybe we will find out someday. Next is some more team suits, like matching ones. Now, this first one is odd. It seems completely original to me. It looks very cyberpunk inspired, but I don't know. We have Nightwings, Red Hoods, Batgirl, and Robin. Now, next we have this, which you may be thinking we already have these. It's the Talon suits, but it seems they were meant to not just be transmogs and would have changeable options as well. Here is Nightwings, Red Hoods, Batgirls, and Robins. Lastly, for the suits, we have these two for Robin and Batgirl. They both seem to be very year one inspired. There isn't images for a Nightwing or Red Hood one, but there you go. It also seems we would have gotten more villains in the game. Now, first off is Catwoman. Now, it's mentioned here that her cat also would have stolen batarangs from you, which is interesting. You can tell that they were going for a very tactical look for her here, which isn't the best idea, but I do like the one on the left. Let me know which one you like more. Next is Solomon Grundy, which I'm very sad didn't make it into the game. His first design is definitely my preference. The second is good too, but I really don't like the third one. You can see in the back of this image, he could have thrown his rock and chain at you in a fight, which is cool. That's it for Grundy. Next, we have the Architect, aka Zachary Gates. Now, this one's really interesting because he's relatively new to the comics and a very unknown character, but his whole story is very related to the characters in this game. Now, spoilers for the comic story he was introduced in, but he was essentially hunting down the 5 families that built Gotham and attempting to, destroy their stuff, essentially. I like to say essentially a lot, I've been informed also recently, so sorry about that. But he's hunting down the Waynes, the Cobblepots, the Elliots, the Kanes, and the Crowns, 3 of which are very prevalent in this game, with the Cobblepots, Waynes, and the Kanes. And with the court being the creators of a lot of Gotham, specifically in this game, as we've been informed, it would have been really interesting to see in this game. Maybe he would have been trying to take down the court as well, but in a much more destructive way. In the comics, he has a very steampunk design, which seems like it would have been dropped for this game, and he would have had a more techie design. That's all of the villains. Now, these next 2 things are interesting. The first is an image of an unmasked savage Talon, which is very freaky, and apparently would have grown more of a beak the longer that they've been turned, according to this description for this one. Then we do have this character model, which I don't recognize at all. I thought at first it was Mr. Freeze, but then after looking at Mr. Freeze in the game, it's definitely not. Maybe it's one of the big talons outside of their suits. I don't know. Let me know what you think below in the comments. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please do leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.